Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So we're just gonna wait for uh, Dr. Sandhu to join. Mr. Sandhu. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
So we're just gonna go into the first session about what happened in 2022 and what we're coming up in 2023. So there are some questions that I'll be asking throughout the time, and let's just get into it. Um, so the first question I had was like, what are the new initiatives that are happening at GNI, Nanak Institute of Global Studies?
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜੀ। ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਆਪੇ ਦੇਣਾ। ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਗਿਆਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੰਧੂ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਆਫ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਸਟੱਡੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਚੇਅਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ। ਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਚੌਥੇ ਓਪਨ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ। ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਬੈਕਗਰਾਉਂਡ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਣੀ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ 22 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ 23 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਕੋਰਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕੋਰਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਟਰ ਵੀ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਮੈਂ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ। 2022 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰੈਸ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। It's probably one of the best year you can call, for any new institute to start. Let me give you a bit of a timeline for you to understand. ਕਿੰਨੇ ਚਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਅਸੀਂ initially, our initial thoughts were put together by a handful of us in March 2021, but it didn't take us until about December 2021 to really get a registration through and finally agreed upon by the Private Training Institute branch of Ministry of Higher Education. So that happened in December of 2021. And after that, they took 4 months really to approve our initial application, and our application was approved in April 2021. And imagine that, from April 22. So from April 22 onwards, we have had a very, very successful year. बहुत ही बढ़िया साल, क्योंकि right away ਅਸੀਂ ਮਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲਾ public launch ਰੱਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। That public launch attracted the Prime Minister of this country to make its video statement. Our Canadian Premier of British Columbia and Director of actually Simon Fraser Universities and the President of the local business associations. So high-profile people who joined us, and lots of people actually that took part in our official launch of Guru Nanak Institute of Global Studies. So that was both the primary, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਨ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਆ, ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਬ੍ਰੌਡਕਾਸਟਿੰਗ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਗਲੋਬਲ TV ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਚੈਨਲਸ ਹਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ everyone did a superb coverage including practically in Vancouver Sun ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਿਊਜ਼ਪੇਪਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਮੇਨ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਪੇਪਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ, everything got covered. That was probably one of the best start that people could ever see of any institute. Educational and Research Institute. Where people have to understand that we are a non-profit organization, a charitable organization. It has taken us a while to really get the charity status approved, which came through in August this year. So we're now a charity and we're not here to make profit, my friends. We're here to actually educate people. That's what people have to understand. And that is the difference between our organization and that of many others. Especially in Canada, there are a lot of private colleges who, or even our own current major universities, their focus is on international students and obviously costing those students actually their livelihood or their parents' livelihood to come to this country. So our focus is education, not profit at all. So right after the launch, we had a Sikh research conference in June of 2022. That was again one of the best successful things you could ever see. the comments that I still remember to this date coming from Dr. Hardev Singh Virk, saying that he has attended hundreds of those conferences, never saw a Sikh conference being started on time, right to the second, and ending right to the second. And we had 17 guest speakers, academic people actually holding 4 different seminars. And we had 2 keynote speakers, the top notch that we could attract at that time. Dr. Baljeet Singh, from Vice President of Research and a professor at University of Saskatchewan, from Saskatoon, and Dr. Nikki Gurinder Kaur, another religious professor from Maine in the U.S., and both of them did a super good job. And that was and the comments and the feedback that we got from every one of them was amazingly supportive of doing another research summit, and that is actually under planning at this time. I'll fill you in actually in the 23rd actually issue. So we also had a very successful first semester that completed in December. Congratulations to our professors actually for doing a wonderful and very a super good job, and a lot of feedback from students that came back complimenting all the professors, for the way they treated their students and their educational and teaching methodology as well. बहुत ही बढ़िया comments सारे students ਦੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ, even मैं एक दो comment ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ refer करना चाहना। एक लड़की ਜਿਹੜੀ she has a 7-year-old son, ਉਹਨੇ introduction to ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾ course ਆਪਣਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ course ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਦੇ comments ਸੀਗੇ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਮੇਜਿਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੋਗੇ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ 20 ਸਾਲ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਗ੍ਰੇਡ 12 ਕੀਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ, 20 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਗਈ, ਵੀ ਇਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਸ਼ੀ ਹੈਡ ਨੋ ਬੋਰਨ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸੀਗੀ ਯੰਗ ਲੇਡੀ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ। And with that, basically, she said it has changed her life, and now she can really educate her 7-year-old son. Another student from one of the universities actually in Edmonton made a good comment as well, saying that she took Sikh ethos, the social justice course, and from that course, she says it has changed the total outlook on her life, how to look at different issues, that arise. And so that went on, and it's very successful, very good. And my compliments and congratulations to all the students who graduated from our first semester, as well as to all the professors for doing a super wonderful job. And we also have had, when I call it success is measurable in the amount actually of work you get done, and as well as the quality of the work you get done. So in that respect, we had 3 major research projects approved as well by the board, with an extensive amount of money being spent on it. And the first major project was Gurbani Arth Milan. And in that, what we have done is we've taken 15 translations of Sri Guru Granth Sahib, 7 English and 8 Punjabi, and we're trying to compile a data together actually to compare each word, not each shabad, but each word actually translations of it actually. So we're assembling that. We have 33 scholars, research scholars working on it, and they are doing a super good job. We had initially thought of doing it thinking that it might take us 3 to 4 years, but they have already finished 800 pages of Sri Guru Granth Sahib. So you can imagine that we're hoping that it'll be done by December 2023. And that research project should have been done by other Punjab universities actually in the past, but wasn't supposed to go to their cadet, as Guru would say. So I think the cadet wanted to come to GNI to get that project actually off the ground and have it finished. And I'm so proud of Professor Gurmail Singh. He's leading that project, and I think he has done a super good job. By the way, I do want to mention that he's doing it pro bono. Okay, students we are paying, but professor is not charging us anything. Thank you, Dr. Gurmail Singh. You've done a superb job actually leading this project, and we're so proud of you, having you as part of our team. And the second project that we're doing is Guru Nanak Lipi in Gurmukhi font. Those of you who use Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and there are a few words actually in our current Lipi that people are using it, and they can't find actually 6 or 7 words of it. So we have actually signed an agreement with Punjabi University, Patiala, and Dr. Kambose is in charge of that, and we have funded that project as well, and he's got 4 research scholars working on that. He will have that done in 2023 as well. Half of the work is already done and tested again by Dr. Gurmil Singh's research scholars, 33 of them working on that project. And I think they're very happy with the 50% of the work that's already done on that. Third project that we undertook in 2022 was the Nikkiyan Jinda Vadda Saka Chote Sahibzadyan. And there was a tract already produced by Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee in 2019, but nothing was publicized actually at a larger scale. So we made an agreement with Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee to give us that tract so we can get it translated. So we have translated into 10 most significant languages of India, starting with, say, Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, Malayalam, Bengali, you name it, Kannada, and all that. So we've done it to 10 languages. We have done the translation, given it back to Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee to publish it. And we were hoping, it was our hope, ਸਾਡੀ ਆਸ਼ਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਪੁਰਬ ਤੋਂ 26 ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ publish ਕਰ ਦੇਣਗੇ. But they have their own administrative limitations, what they can do, and they established a committee to really review that. Though the translations were certified, by the way, we obtained a certificate of its authenticity and actual translations from the English translation that we have done from Punjabi. So I think we were very happy with that, and hopefully SGPC will do it. But we are going to digitize it and put it on our website. In fact, we decided that today with our web producers, Deb Deo, and he's going to do that and with the help of Dr. Balji Jitendra Singh Bal. So the other additions in 2022, I'm sorry, your question actually is still first question, and I'm still on it. So other because we've done so many accomplishments, I thought we better save time and get into that. Our staff additions, as you all know, you have known it. All of us are working actually as a seva. Myself and all our board actually with Jaswinder Singh Ji Parmar and Dr. Kamaljeet Kaur Sidhu and Harpreet Singh Ji Dardi and Gurjeet Kaur Bains. Actually, I see there's a small board of 5 people, but all 5 of us are committed to actually making this institute fly high and achieve its vision and mission to the highest standard as Guru Nanak would expect from all of us. So that's exactly what we're doing. So we have added staff now. Our staff addition originally was Rabjot Kaur. Many of you met her in previous sessions, and she's still continuing on a reduced scale. But we have also added on right now Dr. Jitendra Singh Bal. He's a former vice chancellor from 2 private universities in Punjab, and he's our director of operations. And Ramandeep Kaur, a lawyer by profession, has joined our institute as an executive assistant, replacing Rabjot Kaur. So we are looking for, we have Kaurjit Singh, who's been working with us for the past few months, actually looking after our social media. So we have advisors like Nisha Hoti, actually, who is a public relations, I call her a public relations queen, actually, in Canada. She's one of the best known public relations young lady, and she's working with us. We've got Brinder Singh, who is also government relations and public relations expert. His previous position was as chief of staff for many cabinet ministers in British Columbia, as well as policy director for the premier of British Columbia so far. ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਸਾਥੀਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੀਫ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ policy director ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਬਰਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਉਸ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਹੋਰ ਹਾਈ ਕੈਲੀਬਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਐਡਵਾਈਜ਼ਰਸ ਨੇ, ਫॉर ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਡੇਵਿਡ ਬਿੰਗ ਫਾਰਮਰ 37 ਸਾਲ ਡਿਪਟੀ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਈਡ ਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। I mean, he is our government relations, educational relations, and ਦੂਸਰੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ relations ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। So I think that gives you basically an outlook actually ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਸਾਡੀ achievement ਹੋਰ ਹੋਈ ਆ, for that credit goes to Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji Bal, ਸਾਡੇ Director of Operations, to negotiate 6 MOUs, Memorandum of Understandings, with 6 universities, private universities, all of them. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ I think ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹਾਂ। ਦੇਸ਼ ਭਗਤ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਾਈਨਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਦੇਸ਼ ਭਗਤ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹੋਣੇ। ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਰਲਡ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਗਰੀਮੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਾਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, GNA ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਤਮੀਆ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਗੁਜਰਾਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੀਟਿੰਗਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਸੈੱਟ ਵੀ ਨੇ। ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਚੱਲਦਾ 2023 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ 2022 ਦੀ ਕਾਰਜਕਾਰੀ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਨਾ, ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ਾ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾ ਪਹੁੰਚਿਆ। ਇਹਦਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ 110 ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਕੈਡੈਮਿਕਸ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਦਾ ਟੀਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੁੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੋ। ਈਚ ਵਨ ਆਫ ਯੂ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਟ ਐਟ ਐਵਰੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਦੈਟ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਬ ਗਰੁੱਪਸ ਵੀ ਵਰਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਪਰੂਵਲ ਮਿਲ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ 2 ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਸਰਟੀਫਿਕੇਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ। ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਟੱਡੀਜ਼ ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਆਪਾਂ ਟੀਚ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਟੂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾ ਕੋਰਸ ਸੀਗਾ, ਸਿੱਖ ਈਥੋਸ ਤੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਦਾ ਕੋਰਸ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਈਥੋਸ ਤੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਦਾ ਕੋਰਸ ਇਜ਼ ਰੀਅਲੀ ਅਟਰੈਕਟਿੰਗ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਤੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ। ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਈਵਨ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ 23 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਨਵਰੀ ਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ I'm so proud. Many of you academicians have really committed to taking that course. If you can believe it, there is a school superintendent here in Canada who's taking that course as well. You know, I almost get emotional when I see that kind of a caliber and the interest in our courses. That is really attractive. It's being taught by Canadian-born professors, designed by Canadian-born professors. It's designed for students to really know in depth actually how social justice, Sikh ethos actually matches up with the social justice in Canada. So I think once you take that course, and every student feedback that we've had is super directly feedback we've had it actually. And ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ 22 ਚ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਮੈਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜੋਰਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਬਾਕੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਵਾਈਸ ਚਾਂਸਲਰ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੂਸਰੀ DBU ਦੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦੀ। ਆਪਣੇ GN ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋ, ਗੁਰੂ ਕਾਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ। GN ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ 23 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਹੋਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਸੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਸਿੱਖ ਸਟੱਡੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਟਰੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਰਸ ਰਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ 101 ਤੇ 102। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਕਸੈਸਫੁਲ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਵਿਦ ਫਲਾਈਂਗ ਕਲਰਸ, ਦੇ ਹੈਵ ਮੂਵਡ ਔਨ ਟੂ ਦ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਫੇਜ਼ ਆਫ GS 201 ਕੋਰਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਖਿੱਚਿਆ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ 3 ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਅਸੀਂ 23 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਜਨਵਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ। ਉਹ 3 ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਸਟੱਡੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ 101, 102 ਤੇ 201 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 3 ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਚੱਲਣਗੀਆਂ। 101 ਤੇ 102 ਪੈਰਲਲ ਚੱਲਣਗੀਆਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਹਰ ਕਲਾਸ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 2 ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਜਾਂ 3 ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਡਿਵਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਦੀ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਪੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ। ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸਾਡਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਈਥੋਸ ਤੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਦਾ ਕੋਰਸ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਕੋਰਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਟੀਕਲ ਆਫ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਿਲੀਜਨਸ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ। ਕੁਝ ਸਿਹਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਨਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪੋਸਟਪੋਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਜੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਅਗਲੇ 2 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਤੱਕ ਨਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਈ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਲਟਰਨੇਟਿਵ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੈਕਅਪ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਦਾਂਗੇ। ਬਟ ਸਾਡੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਫਰੈਂਸ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਗਰੇਵਾਲ ਇਜ਼ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਬੋਰਨ, ਟੀਚਰਸ ਐਟ ਕਰੰਟਲੀ ਐਟ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਕੈਲਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਡਿਟੇਲਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿਆਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਯੂ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਸਰਪ੍ਰਾਈਜ਼ਡ ਜਿਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਇਨ ਡੈਪਥ ਕੋਰਸ ਹੈ। ਭਾਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ 101 ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ, ਪਰ that course is usually should have been actually in 301 ਜਾਂ minimum at least 201, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ very advanced ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਵਰ ਕਰਤਾ ਉਹ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ 4 ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 4 ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੋਰਸ ਨਵਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਰਥ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਸਟਰਨ ਖਿੱਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦੇ ਆ ਪੀਪਲ youngsters who can speak the language but cannot read and write ਸੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਵੀ ਕੋਰਸ ਚਾਲੂ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਸੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਮਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਟੀਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਮਾਨ ਹੋਣਾ ਦੀ ਬੈਕਗ੍ਰਾਉਂਡ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਟੀਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜਵਾਹਰ ਲਾਲ ਨਹਿਰੂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੋ ਪਿਛਲੇ 7 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਸੋ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਟੀਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਾਨ ਹੋਣੀ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਰੰਟ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਟੀਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਅਸੀਂ 2023 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵੇਂ ਡਿਪਲੋਮਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜੀ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਜਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਦਸੰਬਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਅਪਰੂਵਲ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ 6 ਤੋਂ 8 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਲੱਗਦਾ it takes about 6 to 8 months to get a course approved actually by the government so we have fulfilled the initial requirements of submission of applications and all the courses and the background on each course and to their syllabuses and what's going to be taught and what and how will they benefit the students and what will the outcome be this is all done and it's already been received and accepted by the government so we will wait now for their approval but my ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੋ diploma I like to just give you a bit of a background one is actually in business administration so business administration ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 7 courses ਨੇ 7 courses ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ complete ਕਰਨਾ ਜੇ 5 minimum to get a diploma ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਐਡਮਿਨਿਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਟੂ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਜਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬੇਸਿਸ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੈ MS ਟੂਲਸ ਦਾ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਦੋ some of my professors are suggesting youngsters today taking grade 12 others are fully aware of it ਮੈਂ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ personally ਸਹਿਮਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ I'll tell you why because I have students here actually from India as well as from Canada ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਹਾਂ but when I give them actually some formulas on even Excel program Excel has over 2200 formulas by the way and most of the people are basically familiar with 20 of them that's how they think they can manage their life with 20 of them but there's a lot to learn actually and that we have a full course in that teaching 39 hours actually and that where you learn actually a lot of things actually on MS tools I think that is another course and business communications again will be taught by a Canadian professor here again so ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਦੂਸਰਾ diploma course again 7 courses ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ that diploma course is on operations and supply chain management in Canada ਜਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਜੌਬਾਂ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਖੁੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ 37% jobs are actually the supply chain management and operations so I think we picked that diploma and designed our own courses 7 of them in that again one has to complete 5 out of the 7 so once you complete 5 you get a diploma but you are if you are keen to take just one course out of that go ahead you can do that you will not get a diploma you will get a letter of confirmation that you have completed that if you want to apply for credit with other universities so you will be able to get all the details and a confirmation letter and your score sheet on that and for that I think ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਹਾਈ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ 7 ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੇ 7 ਹੀ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੱਖੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਰੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਪਲਾਈ ਚੇਨ ਦੇ 3 ਪਾਰਟਸ ਨੇ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਐਂਡ ਕੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਨੈਗੋਸ਼ੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਲੀਗਲ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਵਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ if you go to our website you would be able to see that go to website www.gurunanakinstitute.ca click under courses and you will see the courses that are already approved your frontline management course I didn't mention that we did get approval in 2023 and in fact January 3rd actually we had intentionally planned it to have approved on January 3rd actually when the new year opened up that course is approved we will be starting the classes on April 8th and the professor that's going to teach that by the way I have my own personal background actually teaching that particular course I have taught it actually for many years to the industry people because I train managers and supervisors but I will not be teaching it I will come in as a backup to any professor so the professor that's going to teach frontline management is Jaspreet Kaur from UNBC, University of Northern British Columbia. She's been already teaching there for a while. So I think she agreed to teach that and we have already made an agreement with her. She will be the one teaching starting on April 8th, 2023. That's Saturday. We have three options in that, by the way. One option is to have a 2-week course with 5 hours each day. It's a 50-hour course, certificated course approved by the government. Again, and this will introduce you to Canadian business, exactly how you should be running a business, supervising a business, and what your role is. We get really into in detail and practically train people. You will be having practical sessions and role plays and everything as an actual supervisor, doing interviews, and what are the pitfalls actually when someone leaves, why they leave, exit interview. You know, a lot of issues these days with sexual harassment, human rights issues, equal employment and all that. So, and human resources, how to hire people, and all those things are covered in that course. That 50-hour course is going to give you in-depth knowledge to be a successful manager and to be a successful first-line supervisor, because that's where you are. You are the primary contact between the employer and the employees. So I think that course is also very attractive. I'm finding that a lot of interest from Punjab University and Chang University from Pakistan. I find a lot of interest in that, and Punjab University Lahore again as well. A lot of people want to take that course. Of course, we have Canadian businesses who want to sponsor their employees or supervisors to take those courses. This course is designed both for experienced people who are currently working and also those who really want to get into supervision, new students. So that's why we have a combined system. If we only had to train the currently employed supervisor, there was no problem. We didn't need government approval at all. We needed government approval only because we have new students taking those programs. So I think those of you who are thinking of even taking that program, it'll help you to find supervisory positions in Canada. I can tell you that. People will be looking for experienced people. And, you know, there are not many schools that are teaching that course. A lot of universities would love to do it. I know universities can prepare undergraduate BBA students or say MBA students, but going with basic knowledge is where some of us lack, all of us. Okay, so I think that will give you that. So I think I'm going to open up if you have any questions for Ajit Singh. I think I've covered there fairly well actually. In one question, I expanded into almost I can say 25 minutes or 26 minutes. So I think we have another 20 minutes left. So no, if you have any questions, please go for it.
Yes, we went around with what's happening at GNI. I want to know more like what are some ways we Nanak Institute of Global Studies is giving back to the community?
Okay, this is a very unique organization. Okay, the name in itself, actually, when you look at Nanak Institute of Global Studies, our main focus, vision is to impart knowledge, what Guru Nanak taught us, equal knowledge. This is why we even go back on scholarships. Students who really cannot afford, please don't shy away. You go on to our scholarship application and send it to us. You may get full scholarship, but we do expect everyone to pay minimum $50 application fee, because that gets a commitment. I think first time we gave scholarship blindly, 100%, even no application fee, but we were disappointed. मैं पंजाबी ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, excuse me, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਸਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਕਾਲਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ। ਪੰਜਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਲਾਸ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕੀਤੀ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ 2 ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੀਟ ਆਕੂਪਾਈ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਵੀ ਵਰ ਡਿਸਅਪੁਆਇੰਟਡ, ਟੂ ਬੀ ਵੈਰੀ ਓਨੈਸਟ। ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕੋਰਸ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ, ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ। ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਇਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਵਾਟ ਹੈਪਨਸ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ। I'm not saying it happens in India. It should not happen in India either. But Indian students that ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜੇ ਉਸ ਪੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, I want you to really understand, Canada respect actually punctuality. Canada respect actually agreements. Canada respects actually, you know, when you make a commitment, you live by it. And that's why we are really Sikhi the knowledge, the university, there is no other institute. Even our academic programs that you will see once we get the university status or undergraduate degree granting status within the next couple of years, you will see that our distinctiveness actually will be that every student going through us will have a shade of Sikhi actually learned through it, which no other university is ever going to teach. You are going to actually learn about Sikhi. You're going to learn about Guru Nanak. You're going to learn about Sikh ethos. Every course has a bit of a touch actually brings back to the Sikh values, Sikh passions, Sikh commitment, Sikhi commitment, and all those things actually that are covered actually in our philosophies and day-to-day life play a major role in that.
You did touch upon this before, but I just want to know more about what are we looking forward to in 2023?
Well, when 2023, you will see three things happening. One is that additional courses will be, diplomas will be approved. There's the third diploma that's being prepared actually in the IT end of it. Information technology, Dr. Ball is in charge of that and he's putting it together. We will be submitting that for approval. So you will have minimum approval for 3 additional diploma programs, and you will have our application go out to the government for undergraduate degree status. That will happen. We also have another international Sikh research conference coming up. We are in the planning stage. We're hoping that that will happen in partnership with all our MOU partners as well. And so that's going to take place in August or July. The dates will be set up for that. The success of last summit is certainly rubs off on all of us. And we know how much time and commitment it takes. And that's going to happen. That will happen in 2023. We're also holding, by the way, number of other webinars. We already held one very successfully with Deshbhakti universities, and that was a successful one. I tell you, Dr. Jora Singh and his team, Dr. Bedi, and ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਹੋਲਡ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ। ਦੋ ਅਸੀਂ time planning ਦਾ short ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ they are planning another webinar as well. So we're open, and other universities are looking for that kind of a scenario as well. What else you will see is that some of the universities in Punjab already have agreed, and the others have actually already started to change their own programs so that they can include GNI courses for giving credit to their own students. That's happening with Deshbhakt, that's happening with Sri Guru Granth Sahib, that's happening with Guru Kanshi, that's happening with all others. In fact, another university has already had, which is an online university in Patiala, Jagt Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Punjab Open Universities. They have already had the approval from their own internal board, which you can understand is associated with more with Punjab, and we are on to the final stages of our agreement with them as well. So I think that will happen. You will probably see also some MOUs. I think we're negotiating one with the University of Victoria first year on January 26th. So we'll be meeting with them. I think that will start with the research projects and to establish our credibilities within the Canadian universities. I think that's going to happen. There's a fair amount of research going on. There's a lot more research projects actually submitted to us. We have not been able to approve them because they're coming faster than we could even anticipate, to be very honest. Some smaller projects we might approve. The big cost one we might delay. Board has to really review them. And our process is a good one. We have an internal project evaluation academics group, 5 professors that look at it independent. We don't disclose who they are, and they evaluate each project that comes through us, and they give their advice confidentially to us. And then ultimately it's our responsibility to relay back to the project originators, whether we can proceed with it. There are two levels of it, by the way. ਦੋ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ research website ਤੇ ਜਾਓਗੇ, ਥੱਲੇ click ਕਰੋਗੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ form ਆਉਂਦਾ ਜੀ preliminary submission actually research ਵਾਸਤੇ. That preliminary submission is only 1 page. So with that, you answer some of the preliminary questions. If it moves from the preliminary to the detailed one, Then you go into the details one, which requires a lot more write-ups actually, and explanations, and contractual agreements, and all that is part of that. And there are a couple of the projects of that level already with us actually we're considering are being reviewed at the present time. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think success in 23 will be additional diploma programs, and also summit, and approval of some more projects. I think that's what those three criteria Coach Singh will have in 2023. And we also have one other thing, I may mention, we're looking at it in Punjab, for example, or anywhere else. There are a lot of apne academics, research scholars, जिन्हां नूं किसी ने कदे recognize नहीं किया. So I've already put a team together. Our board has given me a tentative approval on that to go and further look into it. So we are going to hold, we're hoping, I'm just giving tentatively, in April, we'll probably identify 25 to 30 scholars, those who have retired, not necessarily who have already won a lot of accolades, actually, awards वगैरह मिल चुके ने नहीं. उन्हां नूं असीं pick up करना है, जिन्हां ने देन बहुत है पंथ दी रिसर्च वास्ते, ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਫੀਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੀਤੀ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਿਸੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ. So we are looking at their biographies and what they have done. We'll identify top 25 or 30 of them. GNI will actually hold a special function to recognize them in April, and that's where I'm hoping that's when I will be also planning to travel and join there, and that will be held, most likely we're hoping that it'll be held at Punjabi University. But it'll be GNI program.
Next question. Out of all of the things, what should the audience look forward to next that's happening at GNI?
Well, audience should look after exactly what I have covered as well, of gaining knowledge through some of the programs that we're offering, and also applying if they're from Punjab. At least the 6 universities who have already signed MOUs with us, they should be able to get credits through them. Some of them are already working on changing their own curriculums and adding our courses through that. They would be able to also commit actually to do research and join our research projects as well, if they want to do that, and they should be able to take part in that. Take courses, my friends. Learn about Canadian courses. It's not that Punjab doesn't give better. Punjab does an excellent job, okay, providing you education based, but certainly each country has its own way, its own method of teaching. We don't rely upon your memory. We rely upon your actually intellect from a different angle. We want you to really apply yourself. And one of the challenges that people from Punjab are having here with us, basically, I would say that is plagiarism. Please, ਇੱਥੇ plagiarism acceptable ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ acceptable ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਮਰੀ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਰਿਲਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਉਸ ਮੈਮਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵਰਤ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ word for word use ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ. ਸਾਡੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ use ਕਰਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੇਲ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੋਗੇ plagiarism ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੈਥਡ ਹੈਗਾ, ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਸਪੈਸੀਫਿਕਲੀ ਹੁਣ ਸਿਲੇਬਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਨੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਨੋ ਵੇ that's not acceptable ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ. 3 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਣਗੀਆਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਡਾ ਦੇਸ਼ ਖਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਆ, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ. ਪੰਜਾਬ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਨੁਕਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੁਹਾਵਣਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸੋਨ ਦੀ ਚਿੜੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੈ ਸਾਡਾ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਖਿੱਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਦੌੜਦੇ ਹੋ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਟੋਲਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੈਟਰ ਇਨਕਮ ਦੇ ਸਾਧਨ ਟੋਲਦੇ ਹੋ, ਬੈਟਰ ਆਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਆਂ ਟੋਲਦੇ ਹੋ. ਉਹ ਆਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੋਈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਇਸ ਪੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ. ਫੋਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਖਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਈਥੋਸ ਤੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਜਸਟਿਸ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ. ਇਫ ਯੂ ਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਮੂਵ ਟੂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ, ਇਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ, ਫੋਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ, ਈਵਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਫਰੰਟਲਾਈਨ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ ਹੈ, ਲੈਟ ਮੀ ਗਿਵ ਯੂ ਬੈਟਰ ਐਨ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਔਨ ਦੈਟ. ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਜੇ, 2 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਜੇ, 2 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਡਿਪਲੋਮਾ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਦਾ PR ਵਾਸਤੇ. ਉਹਨੂੰ PR ਲੈਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ $24 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ ਜੌਬ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ. ਉਹਨੂੰ PR ਲੈਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੁਪਰਵਾਈਜ਼ਰੀ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਜੌਬ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਉਹ ਸੁਪਰਵਾਈਜ਼ਰ ਦੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ. ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਪਰਵਾਈਜ਼ਰ ਇੰਪਲੋਏ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ. ਜੇ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਬੇਅਰ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਅਕਲੀ ਉਹ ਨੇਮ ਸੇਕ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, Sanjay, it's a title given actually for just to help them out. I mean, that doesn't help you individually to grow. You want to be a real supervisor. The job fulfillment actually, it's a criteria that keeps you happy. Not only make money, but you want to be happy actually doing what you are doing. You want to be going to a job every day, wanting to get satisfaction. And that satisfaction comes from the knowledge that you acquire. GNI provides you that knowledge. And frontline management course will help you all the way through. I'm in touch with the Canadian industries. One of the human resources manager, and they really like it. I've given them detailed syllabus actually of the course. Once they look at it, they say, no, maybe they should take that course themselves as well. So it's such an attractive course. That'll also help people. Although you are taking online courses, it helps. There's a question. I'm not granting you that you have to understand yourself. When you apply to come to Canada, if you have taken a course from a Canadian institute, it helps in your application. If I'm the immigration officer on the other end interviewing you, and I can say that, have you taken or assessing you, have you taken a course from the Canadian Institute? That you say, yes, I think you're going to get some extra marks for it. I mean, that's where the benefit comes actually from the students, and this is where you really gain. Some of those courses are really good. Business management courses will be same, online or in person. They don't matter. Why would you want to spend actually lakhain rupaye, not take actually a simple cheap course actually sitting there and then apply to come actually on merits of your education? Which is what Canada is looking for good people if you want to come in, and that's probably the way to do it anyway. If I was a young person today, and wanting to move to Canada, that's what I look for. I'll gain my education while sitting in India, and then apply to get in. And I came here actually on my education basis, almost 52 and a half years ago now. So when I really look at my life in Canada, you can see that I've spent most of my life here. And that's exactly how I got all my clearance actually on all the point systems, because of my educations that I had acquired in Punjab or elsewhere in India. Mine was a combination of Punjab and elsewhere as well. So that's why I got in here. That's why I got even further higher education in this country after I came in, but also was employed. Parallel, likely I was employed, and then my employers wanted to sponsor me to finish some of my professional programs. So I think that's what happens, that's how you get ahead in life. My advice to youngsters wanting to really come to Canada. Canada is a good country, but complete your education. Have a better education than just barely meeting your +2 and clearing IELTS. Actually, don't fall victim into that, please, unless you really want to get into a good university and good institute.
So last question I want to get into is is there anything else you want to add, or if any audience members have any questions?
Yeah, I'm open actually to answering any questions you had actually you have got from the audience. I think it's best that we answer that. नहीं है कि कुछ लिखते रूप चाहे भाई? I don't know if I saw quite a few people signing in. If not, let me continue. मैं उस level पे मैं दो भाषा में ही रखने की कोशिश की थी. Hopefully, because there will be a lot of Canadians, because this goes on our website as well. That I just didn't want to stick just to Punjabi. So I've actually tried to cover bilingually basically. And what's the registration question there? Just went up there in front. Frontline management registration is open right now. And we don't provide scholarship for frontline management, please. So we have a scholarship for Gurmat Sangeet. We have scholarship programs for Sikh studies diplomas. We have scholarship program for Punjabi. Those three have the scholarship program. We do not give scholarship for the frontline management because this is really in demand, and the fee structure is higher, definitely, because it's into a different category of programs, and fee structure is a $1,000 fee for that, and $50 application, and then $150 for administrations and the material that's being provided to the students. So there's $1,250, I think, if I'm not mistaken. All our fee structures are covered. If you go into student policies that I want you to really look at, study us, please. Go into student policies in the footer of our website. Click on the student policies. You will see at least 20 policies there. In that 20 policies, fees are covered. Your ethical standards are everything is covered. Government only asked us to do about 7 policies, but we have done 20 there, and for everyone's information. Administratively, if you want to look at, go into the admin policies, and you will be able to see 12 or 13 policies there as well. You know, we are very much open book. We give more than anybody else would ever want to give it as a private institute, because again, let me emphasize, we're nonprofit, we're charitable. Our purpose of our board is not to make money. Well, we sure like to break even eventually. You know, we know the first couple of years would be always, for like any other business, you know, it'll be, we're shelling out because we got to pay our professors. Our professors are not pro bono that are teaching. You know, we have to comparably actually compensate them as well, you know, for whether we get 10 students, we get 20 students or 25, we limit to 25 max. So you can imagine that 25 students sometimes don't even cover, some of them with scholarships going into our program, don't even cover our professors' fees. Forget about our admin cost. And hey, the new one, another one, we are moving into a little bigger site now. Our offices used to be in Langley so far, and they're still in Langley until the end of February. So then we move into a bigger place because our staff is growing in Surrey. So we've already leased the properties, so we'll be going into that. We're also hoping that we will get our DLI number. You know, the Punjab the students ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤਾ interest ਹੁੰਦਾ DLI ਦੀ sponsorship ਦਾ DLI number ਸਾਡਾ 1 January 2024 ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ. Also, already government has already given us a commitment on that end of it. So jad aayega, then we will be able to issue sponsor students. I know ਦੂਸਰੀਆਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਘੰਟੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਭਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਐਂਡ ਆਈ ਨੋ ਵਿਦ ਆਰ ਫੀ ਸਟਰਕਚਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਪੇਰੇਬਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਮਚ ਲੋਅਰ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅਟਰੈਕਟ ਕਰੇਗੀ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਹਨੇ ਲਏ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ, ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਲੀਜ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈ ਜਾਏ ਜਾਂ ਬਾਈ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈ ਜਾਏ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਬਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਅਕੀਦਾ ਤੱਕਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਜੇ। It will take us maybe 10 years. By the time you build the site, we were on the lookout for 50 to 100 acres. ਇੱਥੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਹਿੰਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੂਬੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ। ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਰੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਦੱਸੀਆਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ। ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ 12 ਤੋਂ 15 ਹਜ਼ਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਏਕੜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਮਰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਏਕੜ ਇਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਨੇ। So
that wraps up the live session and the Q&A. Thank you, Mr. Sandhu, for joining in. And yeah, like Vajika calls.
Thank you everyone again, once again, at the end, you know, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਤਹਿ ਦਿਲ ਤੋਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਖਿੱਤੇ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਪਿਛੋਕੜ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੋਂ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋ। Hopefully this is helpful. This will go on our website as well. You should be able to listen to it again. Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh।